Welcome to your second assessment task in geography. The assessment task has been released today, Wednesday of week 3, and it'll be due on Wednesday in week 6. So with SOW week being next week, it means you have the rest of this week and this weekend, all of week 5, obviously the weekend of week 5, and then the first couple of days of week 6, and then you sit it on the Wednesday. The topic is in regard to changing places, the topic we're doing now in class, and it's worth 50%. It's going to be in-class tasks. So by that, it means you'll be doing the majority of the task in class on the Wednesday, the 5th of June. It's a written response to a question you will receive. We're expecting your length of the written response to be about 3 pages, handwritten. So just a few reminders regarding all assessment tasks. They need to be submitted on time. If they're late, you get 25% off. Being an actual exam, you are expected to be here on the day. If you're not, please ensure that you're only away because you are sick. Make sure you let your teachers know. This task will be using Harvard referencing method, and here's a link to help you with Harvard referencing, and please speak to your teachers if you're unsure. Reminder about here's your draft policy. You can submit some work of one draft for feedback. Please give your teacher some time to get back to you, so make sure you submit it no later than 72 hours before the due date. And provide your teacher with 3 questions that you'd like them to look at regarding your draft. So let's look at the task. The task is split up into 2 parts. So let's go to part A. Part A is about you identifying an Australian suburb you'd like to research. We'll provide you a recommended list, but it's up to you to choose which suburb you would like to focus on within Australia. And what we're looking at is how that particular suburb has been shaped and changed by international migration. We've been studying international migration a bit in class so far. We're going to be doing a bit more of it, a bit more about it. So all of your part A is looking into the ways that international migration might have changed a certain suburb. So you need to conduct research into the suburb and collect the following data to demonstrate the changing nature of the suburb's cultural identity. We have given you 5 different areas that we'd like you to inquire into. And then you organize all of your research into a scaffold we've provided you, which you can access via Learn or at this link. You must use this particular scaffold to put all your data in. This scaffold is called the data sheet. And for each piece of data, you need to provide a citation stating where you got that information from using the Harvard style referencing. So let's go quickly through each points of data you need to collect. You need to be looking at you need to provide a table of statistics from various sources showing how things might have changed within the suburb due to international migration. And please use the ABS as one of your sources as well. Your data sheet provides a bit more detail on the types of statistics we would like you to look at. You are to construct a population pyramid showing the current age and sex structure of the community. We suggest that you use the most recent data from the ABS. A pie chart that shows changes to the ethnic composition over time. So that means showing how the suburb has changed in regards to the types of ethnicity or the country of birth of people over time. So it might be good to choose 2 different years to show that. Then spend some time using Google Earth or Google Maps to do a tour of the suburb, looking at the way that the suburb is built, the types of shops that are there. You're looking for evidence of how international migration might have changed the area. You are to annotate 2 screenshots. And finally, have a look at some council websites or archives or newspaper articles about the suburb and pull out quotes that show how the area has been changed by international migration. That's all part A. We'll be teaching you how to do population pyramids and pie charts and how to navigate the ABS throughout your class time. But it is a really good idea that you do spend some time this weekend working on part A as well. Let's look at part B now. Part B is when you write your response to the question that you will receive in week 5, and you're going to write your response in class. You need to use all of the data that you've collected in part A to help you write your response. You'll be allowed to bring in your data sheet for that. You'll have 45 minutes to plan and write out your response. And the question, the marking criteria for that particular question will come out a week prior to the due date. But you do know the question is going to be something about international migration. So you can bring in your data sheet into the examination, and you really should refer back to your data sheet as often as possible throughout your response. So you could be saying things like, according to the table of statistics, we can see that, or the population pyramid highlights this. It's the reason why we've asked you to spend so much time on creating your data sheet, because it really will help you inform your answer. At the conclusion of your task, your data sheet will be attached to your extended response, so we'll be marking all of it. We do have a marking criteria for Part A, which is the data sheet. We'll be looking for the ability for you to do wide research when you're looking at various sources. So go beyond just what we've asked you, and make sure the information you choose is pertinent. It's actually relevant and will help you identify changes to the area due to migration. We've given you a list of the data we want you to collect, so we need you to collect all of those, so all 5 pieces. For each piece of data, you also need to communicate a sophisticated insight and understanding of the patterns and trends of that data. So think about how this data relates to international migration and clearly communicate that as part of your Part A. This will make more sense when you look at the data sheet. Finally, you do need to create some graphs. So we'll be looking at your sophisticated skills in processing the information you collect to create accurate and detailed graphs. So these are your population pyramids and your pie graphs. And finally, how well you can reference using the Harvard referencing style. For Part B, you'll get the full marking criteria in week 5, but here's a marking rubric to assist you. We'll be looking and assessing you on your ability to analyze and discuss the effect of the interactions and connections between people, places, and environments, to support your ideas with relevant examples and geographical information. So this is all of your Part A that will help you do this, to use geographical terms and concepts appropriately, and to organize and communicate your knowledge and understanding effectively. So how well you write. If you have any questions, please see your teachers. Can I just remind you to please start on Part A this weekend. The task will be completed in week 6, Wednesday, in LS2 in class time. All the best.